We flew from Krakow, Poland to the capital of Albania, Tirana. Skanderbeg Square is the historic center of Tirana. Skanderbeg is well revered, pictured here in this statue and even on the face of this modern skyscraper. The square is surrounded by a fascinating mix of old and new architecture and is paved by large tile stones which are sourced from all over Albania, signifying unity. This is the Etembe Mosque, located right off of Skanderbeg Square, and you can enter and view it for a small donation. We continued to see interesting art and architecture as we explored further from the historic center. We got a recommendation from our waiter of some great local dishes to try that night for dinner, all of which were delicious. We took a tour to Bovila Lake as the road is quite rough and not accessible by public transportation. Our guide told us we were going to see an amazing Albanian bridge. Yep, he was a pretty funny guy. We took our chances and crossed this amazing architectural feat and got a pretty nice view of the canyon. The lake is actually a man-made reservoir used for drinking water for Tirana. There's no swimming or water activities allowed in the lake, which is part of what contributes to its beautiful color and its pristine state. There's a hike involved to get to the overlook, and every turn was just more stunning than the last. Yep, that's where we're going. It was a hot day and a steep hike, but not too long, so we continued our way up to the viewpoint. We made it to the top of the very steep but short stairs to this beautiful panoramic view of Bovila Lake. Some in our group hiked to this overlook, but we opted for some cave exploration instead. We made our way back down to this conveniently located restaurant for some delicious food and some more amazing views. It's about 9 a.m. and we are heading to go do a food tour.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a breakfast one, not because it's my favorite meal of the day.
Even though it is.
Okay. But yeah, so the afternoon one was no people signed up for that one. So they gave us the option to come for breakfast where there is some people, and so I was all for that.
Yeah, we always like to do tours with other travelers. It's just kind of fun to meet people from other places in the world and just makes for a more fun experience for us usually. And this is a little bit of a splurge for us. It was about $65 a person to do the food tour, but we usually try to do like one thing like that in each place that we go to. We find it's nice to meet a local who can kind of tell us more about the place and about the culture. That's the tour guide, and just kind of gets us like a little bit of an inside scoop on what kinds of things to eat in the country, where to go, and they usually tell you a little bit about the culture and things too. So we're gonna head over and we're excited about that.
Yeah, let's go eat.
We explored the city on foot, joined by 3 other travelers. Our first stop was for a common breakfast food called burek. It comes with many different fillings, but we chose the one with cheese, and it was really quite delicious. Next, our guide took us through the local market where you can find all kinds of clothing, purses, any kind of goods or items that you can imagine. Next, we explored the food market where we got to sample a variety of the local produce, nuts, cheese, and olives that are common to Albania. Our guide told us the honey, walnuts, and the small shot of olive oil that we tried are like their medicine. You feel so healthy now?
Tastes like olive oil.
We stopped for some Turkish coffee next, though I opted for tea because I don't do caffeine. Turkish coffee is just coffee and water, sometimes sugar, boiled together in a pot and then poured off into the cup, so there are grounds left in it. Some people claim they can tell your future by reading your coffee grounds, but either Troy's future is pretty murky or I think he didn't do it right. We made our way to the new market where our guide continued to show us the produce, homemade alcohol, and other goods local to Albania that you can purchase. We made our way to a nearby restaurant where we were treated to a traditional family-style Albanian meal. For dessert, we had a honey walnut cookie. It wasn't too sweet and it was just delicious. Our last stop was this cute little restaurant that is known for 30 different kinds of raki, the local traditional Albanian distilled spirit often made from a variety of different fruits. I chose the sweet one for people that don't like the taste of alcohol much, but Troy was brave and tried the tamarind version. Let's just say he did not finish his. After the tour ended, we said goodbye to our new friends and tour guide and set off to explore a bit more of the city. We just had a beer up at the Sky Lounge, which is a rotating restaurant that overlooks all of Tirana, and it was pretty spectacular.
Nice view. It had a coffee too.
Yeah. The beers were probably some of the most expensive that we've had here. It was like $7.50 for a small beer, but really you're paying for the view.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably well worth it. We're even thinking about going back at night to check it out then.
Yeah.
We did return a few nights later and got to enjoy watching the city come alive at night. From the 1960s to the 1980s, hundreds of thousands of bunkers were built throughout Albania. Most have been abandoned or repurposed, like this one that's now a museum right in the center of town. We didn't visit Bunkart 1, which is located about 20 minutes out of the city center. It's about $10 to visit the museum and tells of Albania's history of dictatorship, surveillance, and resistance. We had another delicious dinner at a restaurant recommended by our tour mates, and then head out on a mission to find trelice, which is the Albanian version of tres leches, and it was really delicious. We took a minibus from the south and north bus terminal, the main terminal, on our way to the mountain town of Krujë. The bus is very affordable, only about $2.50 US, but it was packed and it was hot and there was no air conditioning, so we were pretty happy to find the end of that journey. We hit up the Panorama restaurant for some great views, a little bit of time to relax and cool off before we explored the city.
حي على الفلاح.
Krujë has a colorful market that is mostly geared towards tourist items, but we did see some beautiful rugs and handmade items as we walked through the streets. The castle was built in the 5th century, and it was integral in Skanderbeg's rebellion against the Ottoman Empire. We just finished up visiting Krujë, which is up in the mountains about an hour to an hour and a half outside of Tirana. Or at least it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It was supposed to be an hour and a half. It took us 3 hours.
Lots of traffic today. But it's a lovely little town. There's a castle and all kinds of beautiful panoramic views. We had some delicious food. What do you think?
It was great, yeah. What's the guy's name? Steinberg? Or did I say that right?
Skanderbeg.
Skanderbeg.
Yeah. So it was his castle. He's very famous around here. There's statues everywhere. And so we got to learn a little bit more about him at the museum that's located in the castle. Castle is free, but the museum was about €5. So really affordable.